Tonight is our 7th and final night of Speak Week. We are wrapping up our Power and Leadership theme with Jess's reflections. Visit the links below to read performer biographies and donate to our cause. If you missed any of our performances, you can find those videos on our Facebook event page.
When some people say that we need more women leaders, what they often imagine is a society in which more women act like male leaders, and not the good ones. Lean in, they say. Think like a man. Be chill. Deepen your voice. Don't be emotional. In fact, just care less about everything. Emulate a successful man to become a successful woman. And so many of us shy away from positions of influence because we don't fit that stereotype. Perhaps power, in our eyes, looks and feels different. After all, Rosa Parks didn't need an important job title. Frida Kahlo didn't depend on votes to speak her truth. Anne Frank was not a millionaire. Princess Leia didn't ask for permission to start a rebellion. Wonder Woman is just as wonderful in pajamas. Even the best seductress can take a self-care day alone. If you've ever questioned your own power, you're not alone. Our final piece is by Jess Gantt-Shafer, titled Power Together.
When I first heard the theme of this year's Speak was power and leadership, my reaction was, damn, I can't submit this year. I'm not really a leader and I have no power. I tried to get in touch with my deeper self and think of times that I had held true power, and I only came up with a story of a time when I was leading a kids' camping trip and locked the keys in a 15-passenger van, stranding us at a remote camping site on Cottonwood Pass. I managed to flip the door lock open by jamming a camp serving spoon under the pop-out window of the van. And it was a powerful moment. But it wasn't exactly something that spoke to my deeper self. I think I'm someone who chases power. I chase traditional markers of empowerment. I have sought out educational degrees and teaching positions, normal things that might show I have power, or at least some power over others. I'm also pretty good at achieving goals. I achieve small goals, I pay attention to deadlines, and then I look back at the apathetic world, sweaty and desperate for approval. I seek degrees and jobs, timelines and outcomes as external validation of empowerment, a substitute for actual feelings of empowerment. See, I feel like I'm a bug in the face of the universe. I'm a little bug who does not know what's going to happen next, never will. I might be crushed at any moment, so I must remain vigilant and somewhat terrified, and just thankful for what I've gotten away with so far. For women, I'm not sure that's an uncommon sentiment about power. The statistics on power and leadership aren't great for us. The National Center for Education Statistics said that as of fall 2017, female students are earning 56% of our undergraduate degrees in the US. The Council of Graduate Schools also said in 2017 that women earned 53% of all awarded doctoral degrees. But the Rutgers Center for American Women in Politics reminded us in January 2019 that when the new US Congress was sworn in, a little less than 1 in 4 of those decision makers were women. We've never had a female president or vice president. The 2019 Fortune 500 list of CEOs only included 33 women, and that's 6%. And I could go on, but what I mean to say is, statistically speaking, things are changing for women, but they take time. Or so I've been told by men when I quote these kind of statistics. Statistics that highlight a much starker comparison if you aren't like me, a cis, hetero, white woman with some money. So how can I talk about power when I don't feel like I have any? Where do I find empowerment? Or when can I feel powerful without feeling guilty or like an imposter or like a bitch or inhumane or like I'm not good enough? Well, I'm happy to report I do find moments of empowerment. I feel empowered when I share power in my life with other women. I feel a sense of power when my 4-year-old niece strums her tiny guitar and sings loudly and off key because she hasn't been taught yet to give a shit. A shit about controlling her voice or her body or her hair or her clothes. I feel a sense of power when I gather with related and chosen sisters to talk honestly about how it feels to be a woman and a human, trying to do everything while much of society devalues what you do as nothing or nothing worth being paid for. I feel a sense of power when I hear a lyric or I read a line of poetry or a chapter of a book written by women and I think, holy shit, she got it. Last year at Speak, I talked about a hotline I volunteer for, where I speak with callers to help them get funding to pay for abortions they can't afford. I feel power there, not because I am a benevolent white volunteer with access to funding, but because I can say sincerely to people who may have not heard it from anyone else, you're doing the best you can with what you have. And I trust you and I respect you. When trying to live my life and perhaps be a leader, I don't typically feel powerful in the traditional masculine sense. Sometimes when I go out in the cold and I spit my mucus in the snow, I do think, this is what it must be like. But for the most part, I only feel power course through my veins when I look another woman in the eye and I say, you're not insane. You're a sane person conforming to insane standards, and sometimes it'll make you crazy. So we probably are all little insignificant bugs in the eyes of the universe. Small, scared, easily stepped on. Women are the bugs who say sorry when someone else steps on them. But we do have each other. And we do have our voices and the courage to share our stories, even if we aren't sure if they'll resonate or seem grand enough. We do have power because we aren't alone. And when you use your voice, you are a leader.
Thank you for joining us for Youngbloods Collective's Speak, Voices of Women in the Yampa Valley. This annual fundraiser became a free virtual event for you this year, but we usually host this event in 3 live performances across Routt County. Tonight, we want to give a special thank you to the 3 venues that would have welcomed you to our show. Wild Goose Coffee at the Granary in Hayden, Circle R Gastropub in Oak Creek, and Bud Werner Memorial Library in Steamboat Springs. Thank you to all of our supporters. To learn more about our organization and to donate to support this event, please visit youngbloodscollective.org.